What are we number one in? We have 88 guns for every 100 people. Lawrence Whitner, writing over at the History News Network, reprinted over at Alternet. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute says that we, the United States government, accounted for 37%, over a third of the entire planet's military expenditures. China and Russia account for 11 and 5%, respectively. We're also the number one weapons exporter to the world. We have all these guns. By contrast, in Britain, there are 6 guns for 100 people, 1 gun-related death for every 400,000. We have 40 gun-related deaths for every 400,000 because we have 88 guns for every 100 people. Education, Program for International Student Assessment, points out, looks at a study, 15-year-old students, 65 nations. The U.S. ranks 17th in reading and 21st in math. In 2014, another company, a multinational education services company, rated us 20th for educational attainment, behind Poland and the Slovak Republic. Healthcare, even worse. We rank 30th in the world, according to the World Health Organization, although we pay more for healthcare than any other country in the world, which brings us, and it goes on and on, the environment, sanitation, water. You live in Detroit, you don't even have the right to water, according to the judge there in that bankruptcy. 38th in air quality, 36th in water sanitation, 35th in health impacts, 86th in biodiversity and habitats, 96th in fisheries, 107th in forests. Why is this? I would submit to you that the vast majority of these problems that we are seeing in the United States that make us number one in all the things nobody wants to be number one in, and number 10, 20, 30, 40 in the areas where people actually want to be number one, is because of laissez-faire, so-called free market economics. It's because of raw, naked, brutal capitalism. Because our country has been hijacked by a group of cranky billionaires and large transnational corporations who don't give a rat's ass about America. The billionaires don't care about the average American. It's all about making more money and getting more power. And the result of that is that human outcomes, like do we have a well-educated populace? Do we have a well-informed populace, apropos of our last hour? Do we have a healthy populace? Those things are irrelevant because those are not measures of profit. Reaganomics has turned this country into basically, this is the great experiment, right? Reagan came into office saying government bad, free market good. Let's turn it all over to the free market, drop the top tax rate on the billionaires from 74% down to 28%, turn them into job creators, open our borders, let's have free trade, let's all this stuff. And now we see how it's working out. It's a disaster.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
And it's a disaster brought to you by unregulated capitalism. Capitalism's okay if it's regulated, but unregulated capitalism destroys countries.